Good morning. It is bright and early, 6:45 a.m. and I'm about to leave for the day. The tour meets up at 7:30, really close to here, but I need to get some breakfast first. Today I'm doing a top 10 bucket list item for me, and I'm going to Cinque Terre. I am beyond excited. Words cannot describe it. It's just going to be a great day. It's going to be a long one. It's a 14-hour tour day, and we're visiting all 5 cities of the Cinque Terre, so lots of moving and lots of walking. But I'm really, really excited. So here we go. The drive from Florence to La Spezia, which is the closest train station in the Cinque Terre, took about 2 hours. We got our train pass as well as signed a disclaimer regarding the day ahead.
Book the right tour offered by Walkabout, which is our company. 200 kilometers to La Spezia, which is our gate in and out from the Cinque Terre.
The Cinque Terre is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a national park, so it is well protected. However, that means that people from all over come to visit. They get around 2.5 million visitors per year, with about 80% visiting during the summer months.
So I'm at La Spezia train station. We did about 15 minutes before we catch our train to the first of the 5 villages of the day. I've been pronouncing it wrong. It's pronounced Cinque Terre. So not Cinque Terre. How you say it in Italian is Cinque Terre. So but we're going to do all 5 villages today. Very excited. Our tour guide gave us a rundown of all the villages and what we're going to do. But right now we have 15 minutes before we're catching the train to the first village of the day, and it's going to be a 14-hour day. We're not going to be back in Florence till 9 p.m. and we left at 7:30. So I'm excited for an action-packed day. But starting in La Spezia, which is the closest train station to Cinque Terre. So our tour bus is actually not packed full, so we're not at full capacity. There's probably about less than 30 of us, so pretty nice group of people. I have a seat to myself on the bus, which is always nice, and the views from Florence to La Spezia were awesome.
Starting in La Spezia, we boarded the train to our first village of the day, but technically the second on the village chain. And it seemed like everyone else had the same idea, as the train was packed with people. Manarola is the second smallest village out of the 5 and is built on a high rock about 70 meters above sea level.
This beautiful village is no more than 500 people live here. As you can see, really small.
For me, Manarola was definitely the most charming. It's mainly inhabited by the elderly, so it was quite nice to see them out and about living their lives and running the whole village. And they had some of the bluest water I've seen in my entire life. And on to the next village of the day, Cornelia, which is the smallest out of the 5 villages and the highest of the 5. We climbed 382 steps from Cornelia train station to get to the village. And let's just say the views were definitely worth the climb. This is also the village where lunch was scheduled. You could either book through the company or go off on your own, and I decided to go off on my own, where I ended up having some amazing pasta and some delicious gelato for dessert.
So just got gelato after lunch. Second village of the day is Cornelia. This is where we ate lunch. It's one of the smallest. I don't know if it is the smallest. But after this we get free time. Our guide's gonna go on a hike. And then anyone who doesn't want to go on the hike, which I don't want to go on the hike because I want more time to swim, go to the next village over. We have 2 hours of free time.
The next village, Vernazza, is the most known by tourists and to most the prettiest village in the region. However, to me, it was the busiest.
We are at the 4th town now. Well, we were just I actually got in the water for a little bit, and in about 20 minutes we're going to take the train to the last town, where we're going to be for an hour, and then take a boat from the last town back to the first, because again we skipped the first. And I'm in this little thing by the train station, so you can see all the graffiti behind me. One thing is it's very overcrowded. It is a tourist destination, so that's kind of taking away what I am adding to that because I am a tourist myself. But I would definitely come back during the shoulder season when it's a lot less busy because it's hot and then like people everywhere.
Monte Rosso is the largest of the 5 coastal villages of the Cinque Terre and is the farthest away from La Spezia. Here we were allowed about an hour of free time, which I spent mostly in the water. After the hour was up, we boarded the boat to take us back to the first village, which we skipped at the beginning of the day, and it gave some awesome views of all the villages on the Cinque Terre. So the last village of the day, but the closest to La Spezia, is Rio Maggiore.
We can take some beautiful pictures of Rio Maggiore, 5 minutes.
We spent less than 10 minutes here, but to me this village had the most picturesque homes and buildings on the whole Cinque Terre. After a quick photo session in Rio Maggiore, we boarded the train back to La Spezia, where we then walked another 15 minutes to meet back up with our tour bus to take us back to Florence. We then got to watch the sunset from the bus, making a beautiful end to an amazing day.